Hello everyone and welcome to the Digimon figure review video. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Dynamotion Mugendramon / Machindramon. And as I mentioned in my Greymon and Metal Greymon Dynamotion review videos, Dynamotion, as described on the tag here, is the figures capturing the most dynamic of motions. It doesn't mean that you can move it around and pose it at all, which is as true with the Mugendramon one as it was with the Metal Greymon ones. You can't move its joints around at all. And I'm going to quote one of my favourite Adam Sandler lines from the movie The Hot Chick, but you can put your weed in there too. I hope that all of two people who watched that movie think that that reference just then was the funniest thing that they've ever heard, because whenever I find something in a shop, I'm like, oh, you can put your weed in there. I don't even smoke, but it's just a really funny part of the movie. But anyway, Mugendramon. So this is Mugendramon, as you would expect. And the level of detail isn't as stunning, I would say, as the level of detail on the Greymon and Metal Greymon Dynamotion figures. Like, I don't know why he has his eyes shut. And the shade of grey is very, like, just one shade of grey. Like, they didn't do any shading. Like, I paint Warhammer, and I feel like I should just pour, like, an entire bottle of Agrax Earthshade just to give it some level of detail. In these, like, there's no detail or shadows or anything. I know it's because he's metal, but I don't know why. They just feels like it's just lacking on the detail here. I feel like the art was quite impressive. And as I mentioned in my Metal Greymon and Greymon review video, the size is a lot bigger than I thought after looking at that image. I don't know why, just a bigger size. Also, like with the Metal Greymon and Greymon ones, it didn't come in a box like I was expecting for some reason. It came in a plastic bag with this little tag here, which you just kind of pull off to remove. And then you've got the figure with a very, very tiny, tiny hole where you just pulled that from. But cutting it would leave a bit of plastic there. I'm sure there's a better way to get it out, but that's how they chose to sell it. I don't know why they didn't just do a little bit of a string around the ankle or the arm and attach that. Probably ankle's best because it's got the thick foot there. But let's also compare it with the caged figure, the Digimon figure that just came out a few months ago. And honestly, the level of difference in the details here, like they've gone with a metallic paint on this, which just makes it, even though it's just one, like, colour, it just makes it look more detailed. But with this very boring shade of grey, they've given like a metallic colour to the claws and to the weapons and the foot, but the main body just feels like it's very much lacking in that detail that the metallic paint could have given it. Here you can see that they've gone for different colours for the claw and the nails and the weapons. And I guess it also doesn't have his eyes open, but because they've at least given a different colour, it adds a little bit more than just the same colour to the eyes as to the rest of the head. I don't know, I don't think I like this as much as the Metal Greymon and Greymon one, even though I much rather prefer Mugendramon. I love Mugendramon, he's probably one of my favourites. I do like the position more that the Greymon and Metal Greymon ones are in, because those positions are a little bit derpier. But just a level of detail, just to have it like this standard grey, it doesn't look metal, it looks plastic. At least with this figure, it's plastic. It's very obviously plastic. But the metallic paint that they've used there, even though they haven't filled in any of the details, and we've got less details, like here we've got some nice detail, we don't really have that on the smaller figure, which makes sense, it's a smaller scale. But the fact that they've used that metallic colour there just makes it stand out a little bit more, and it doesn't seem as plastic, even though it is. It's still obviously plastic, this one, but the metallic colour just gives it a little bit more personality, a little bit more detail. And this one almost looks like a prototype figure. Like when you look at the prototype figures, they're just grey. It looks like it's missing a layer of colour. It's looked like they released it like, oh, we still have the prototype grey on. instead of the metallic grey, it just looks like it's missing something. So, would I recommend it? I guess if you really like Mugendramon, it's kind of cool, but that level of paint, like the detail there is just, it's just lacking compared to other figures, especially the smaller ones, which you'd expect a bigger one to have more detail. And I guess to some extent you do have more detail in the bigger one, but it's still, yeah, that shade of grey is just, it's really missing out on something using that grey. And also these claws are bent because of, I guess, the plastic bag. Like, it wasn't in any plastic holding it in place, so I guess it kind of got a little bit bent on the claws in transit, because they are very thin. They're a very thin sort of plastic. These ones are kind of, because it's smaller, they can kind of group them together so they don't bend as much. But in any case, that was a quick review of the Dynamotion Mugendramon / Machindramon. Did you get this figure? Would you get this figure? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!